Just a few moments before we set up the YouTube, and then we begin with today's topic. All right then, and here we go. Just a minute. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. And I was just having a laugh at, the way the session is set up for the topic with Moksha in Nirvana. And you expect those kinds of topics being discussed by the saints and all of that. And I said, here's your saint of today in a beach dress, delivering you the topic on Moksha and Nirvana. And how so many times these outer appearances fool us. How many times we are sitting in judgments of outer appearances of people and saying, oh, this one, yeah, she doesn't look like she knows anything. This one, oh, he looks so intimidating. He's wearing maroon, he's wearing orange, he's wearing black. So he must know a lot more. And we get intimidated. And the final truth for each one of us, that each of us know all that there is to know. Each of us have the knowing within, and yet here we are making judgments on somebody else on the outside. But finally, even those judgments, when people come to me, and then I simply keep reminding them of one thing. Bahar to koi hai hi nahi. There is no one outside. As many judgments as we make outside, it is the judgment that we are making on the self. We're just simply making that judgment on the self. And then today's topic, the easiest path to Nirvana and Moksha. So I'll take a minute. I actually went to Google and I took the first description that came along as to what Nirvana is, what Moksha is. Let's just figure out what the definitions of these words is. So give me a minute as I open that stuff. All right. Yes. So the definition of moksha. The definition of moksha, as per Google Maharaj, is this. The definition of moksha is the freedom from the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. This is the ultimate goal of an individual who practices Hinduism. Moksha is derived from the Sanskrit word mak, which means to free. In Indian culture, the term moksha literally means freedom from samsara, freedom from the world around us. Nirvana. In Buddhism, a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, nor desire, nor the sense of self, and the subject is released from the effects of karma and the cycle of death and rebirth. It represents the final goal of Buddhism. This is another term for moksha. And so that is how the moksha and the nirvana is being described. I will read that again to pick up the sentences. A state, a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, nor desire, nor a sense of the self. So these three we will pick up and move through. What is the easiest path to get to nirvana? What is the easiest path to get to moksha? And there is another saying which says hell and heaven are all here on this earth itself. Hell is here and heaven is here. And if you look at if the hell is here and if the heaven is here, then nirvana or the moksha state must also be here only, right? Why is that state something outside of us If everything is in this place, if we are going to experience the heaven on this planet and hell on this planet, then where would moksha be? If I was to look at it logically, probably here itself. But now to go into the meanings of hell, heaven, and moksha itself. Life has been hell. So many times people will say, oh, for the past 2 years, life has been hell. And what does that mean? Oh, I first went through this and I went through this anxiety, and there was so much fear, and there was so much agitation and irritation and panic. And all of these emotions is what we describe as our life being hell. That is all we say when, oh my God, life has been hell. Or otherwise, oh, I am sitting in a heavenly state right now. Meaning what? That there is nothing which is bothering me. There is nothing which is irking me. Everything is flowing smoothly. I am having a good time in life. And that is exactly where heaven resides. Oh, I'm in heaven these days. We go to a place which is so beautiful, and we see all the nature's beauty around, and we say to ourselves, I am in heaven. But you could be in that place. You could be in a place which has so much of tremendous beauty, and it is looking so beautiful around. And yet, if the heart is sitting in grief, if the heart is sitting in sadness, if the heart is sitting in anger, will you feel that heaven, that place, as being heavenly right there and then? No, you will not feel, even if you are living in heaven. We say that Kashmir is really heaven on earth, but is every person that is living in Kashmir able to experience that heaven? You go over there for 5 days and you say, oh, this is heaven on earth. This is so heavenly. But if within you are not experiencing that calm, that peace, that place is not heaven. That would be, if you are still sitting in so much of anger and agitation and irritation and whatever it is, now you would have started to recognize that the two frequencies, the two different states of frequencies, one is the frequencies of the mind, the ones that are coming from separation, and the other are the frequencies from the heart coming from oneness. And when you are sitting in joyfulness, when you're sitting in bliss, in that state of oneness, you would be experiencing heaven. But when you're coming from anxiety, worry, fear of the other, fear is what would create for you hell. It would create hell right here. And then we talk about the state where there is neither of these emotions, when there is neither of anger and irritation, and nor there is even these constant bubbles of joy and love and all of that. And everything is simply, it just is, and we are able to flow with all that just is. What state might that be? Well, right there, with no bhav, no emotion, with no feelings, with no actions, with nothing but blankness inside, you would be sitting in that state of moksha. And so then what becomes the easiest path to attain that moksha? All of you who have been associated with me, I keep reminding you, we always have a choice. We always have a choice. So the first step where the choice exists is if you wish to exist in anger and separation, or if you wish to exist in joyfulness and surrender. Where do you wish to exist? Which of those choices would you want to make? It doesn't matter what the outside is playing out, because the outside will always play out. Life is a combination of a series of events. And what is the event that is going to happen tomorrow doesn't depend on my energy alone. This is an illusion that is playing out, and this illusion, through each of the illusions that we are able to break through, that what we return to after breaking through the illusion is the moksha state. So what does that mean in simple parlance? It means life outside will create an event for us, and we will have a first response to the event. We always have first responses. Remember, we are not running away from the first response. And what do I mean by that? Oh, somebody has done something, and my first response is anger. I get angry. Or somebody, I've just received some news, and my first response is fear. And that is okay, because we are not running away from the first response. We are learning to process that response. We are learning to see what that response is, and the second part of it, which frequency is that response from? Which frequency of mine is creating this event outside? And so again and again, I also remind you, whenever an event happens outside and it creates emotions within us, and we always sit with this understanding, oh, that event happened, or that person said this. And because of his saying this, that's what broke my heart. And that's why I'm feeling so sad, because somebody hurt me. Somebody said something, and that is what is hurting me. And I always remind you, no, you have to begin to look at everything as a play of your energy. So if some event is hurting you, an outside event is happening, or somebody is saying something that is hurting you, and you are experiencing the hurt, understand that the event is simply here to make you experience the frequency that you are already tuned in. So the event is actually being created for your experience of that frequency which you already hold. It is not that event that is causing the frequency, it is this frequency that is causing the event outside. But I had no role to play in this event. This event happened between X and Y. But why am I involved in this? Why would this happen to me? Why is this happening to me? Everything is happening for an experience. Maybe something happened to X and Y, but if you are sitting and watching X and Y go through an experience, and that experience is causing you to feel sad, or you to feel angry, or you to feel suffocated, and so many other, frequencies, then those
Yes.
frequencies of yours have come for looking within. These are your frequencies. This is your experience in that limited manner, that an event happened outside, but you had to experience that sadness, or that event happened outside and you had to experience your helplessness, your anger, your desperation, whatever it is that your frequency is tuned into, that event is forming outside. And that is how life happens. But as life happens, and as you are able to see your own emotion. You're able to filter your emotion. Give me a minute. I think I need to mute somebody. Let's just see. Okay, works. Seems to be working. Okay. All right. So as the event is happening and as you are experiencing, if you are able to catch your frequencies in that moment, then the first choice will arise. And the first choice is whether I wish to be in the frequencies of the mind, or I can move to the frequencies of the heart. And the frequencies of the heart, feeling the surrender, feeling the love, feeling the joy, and moving to oneness. Moving to oneness with whom? Moving to oneness with the self. And as we move into this place, into that second choice, and we keep experiencing joy and joy, and then there comes a time when we are also able to let go of the joy itself. We've experienced, we know that this is in my hands. I can move from anger to joy in a few minutes after I become aware. In a few
Yes.
minutes after the finger returns here, oh, this is my energy that is creating these experiences for me. As the finger begins to come within, we begin to experience whatever we have chosen. We have chosen love, we have chosen joy instead of sadness, and that is what will begin to play for us. And outside might be any story, but we will feel more and more joyful, more and more calm. Letting go of the sadness, letting go of the guilt, the anger, whatever it is becomes a choice for us. And then as we let go, and now the part two, as we let go, as we begin to experience more joy, one day we will also lose the fear for the anger. We will lose fear for desperation. One day, oh, where is it that somebody is on, not on mute, and I'm not.
जी हाँ जी कैसे बढ़िया सुंदर है
Let's just see who it
जो
is.
का
Oh,
चाहिए
it's
तो
Mahendraji. Okay, all right. I was like, where is it? Who's not on mute? Who's not on mute? But all right then. So, let's go back to this. Okay. So here we were, and then moving on to the next step. So there comes a time when we lose the fear of every emotion. You know, right now, when first people come to me and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to be sad anymore. I have been sad for the past 5 years. This and that has been happening to me. And my husband is doing this to me. And my daughter has said this to me, etc., etc. I am done. I am done feeling sad. I am done. I'm so fed up of my life. And I'm so angry about this. And I'm so sad about that. And when they come over there, that first step that no, it's just a frequency. It's just a frequency, so you can shift your frequency. But as you shift your frequency more and more to joy, you're also able to see that even sadness or anger, it doesn't have an extra charge. It's just a channel, it's just a frequency. On your television channels, we have so many, so many frequencies that we can tune into. And what have we tuned into today is just a matter of observation. And as you observe more and more, you lose that fear. Oh, I never want to be sad. Even if you're sad, it's just a frequency. And from that place, you begin to arrive at blankness. When you are no longer fearful of the experiences that you're having on the outside, then every experience, it's just an experience. And then I've got a webinar on this too shall pass, if only you will allow it. This too shall pass, but it's waiting for what? It's waiting for your acceptance. It is waiting for your allowance. And what does it mean? Whatever is the event outside, will it stop to happen? It will stop to happen for you. The same event that was creating so much of a frenzy, so much worry, so much anxiety, so much fear in you will no longer be creating that fear in you. What has happened? It has passed. When the same event no longer creates the same emotions, in that moment, what are you feeling? You've made a choice, and then you even stop making those choices. And that is simply, it's just a step by step. By the way, there is nothing wrong in making any choices. I don't want to be in sadness, and I have the power to move to joy. That is the power that we can exercise at any point in time. And then, as we sit more and more just simply watching, oh, today I'm being given an experience of anger. Okay, let's see how long this anger continues because I can always change it. And from that place of power that doesn't exist on somebody else, I want power so that I can change what you are going to say to me. I want power so that I can change, my surroundings, my office. No, this is the power only about yourself. And this is the power of love, the highest power of love. But that love is not to be received from anybody outside. It is the love that you feel, that you experience for this life, for yourself, for this body form. And in this body form, you came to receive so many experiences. But as you begin to receive experiences and you're in unawareness, you start to shirk away. You start to feel fearful. You start to run away from those experiences. But to recognize that every experience, going back to what I just said a few minutes ago, every experience is my creation. It is the creation of my energy, and all that I need to do is to look into my energy. And then you are no longer afraid of whatever is going to be created outside. You move with every event, you move with every outcome, and this place stays blank. This place doesn't engage in a constant chatter. What should I do? What will I do? How to do this? How to do that? Why is this happening? When will this end? None of that chatter. That place of being is where moksha state is. And so many of us who are already experiencing the flow, many of us in different, in different segments. So some of us are able to flow a little bit more, and the others of us are beginning to flow. But wherever you are at is just one part of the journey. And the more you become aware of the center of power that you are, the more you begin to come into this blank state, the moksha state, the nirvana state. It talked about having no emotions, but when would there be a place where you would have no emotions? That would be when you have processed the emotion. If you don't process the emotion, it happens many a times that when we are living in the unawares and something very dark, something very fearful is there. It's a thought about the future. Oh, I don't know what will happen in the future. My exams, they're not going well. I don't want to look at the future. What do? We don't think about it. We don't think about it, and we simply focus on whatever it is that we have to do. But just because we are not thinking about it, here's the difference. When we are not thinking about it, we might be running away from it. And this entire process of being an observer is not about running away from an emotion. It is actually about being able to see the emotion for what it is. It's just a frequency. And what frequency of mine is this? Oh, it's just sadness. And what frequency of mine is that? Oh, it's just anger. And as I begin to look at an emotion as simply a frequency that I have tuned into, that need to run, that need to change something on the outside, that need to hide from something, just simply vanishes. That need is no longer relevant to us because now we have processed the emotion. And what is the processing of the emotion even meaning to you? Just going through with the flow, being able to see that no matter what the event outside is, no matter what the outcome outside is, I'm still going to be able to love myself. I'm still going to be able to come back to self-love, to be immersed in this place of I am the creator. I am the creator in my universe. And when we sit in this blankness, that place of no thought, that place of no feeling, of no emotion, that place is what is being described by Google Maharaj as being the place of nirvana. So once again, going back to it and reading some parts. Now, there is neither suffering nor desire. Neither suffering nor desire. Many of you who follow what I teach, we all go through releases, and most of the times I will say, let go of the desires. Let go of your desires because your desires are actually, oh, this is my goal. This is where I have to be. This is my ultimate goal. As a matter of fact, even in these 5 lines, it says that Nirvana is the ultimate goal of Hinduism and it's the ultimate goal of Buddhism. But the minute you set a goal, even in your understanding of what nirvana is or what moksha is, the minute you have set a goal for yourself, now you have to reach it. And now you have to make efforts to reach it. And now you understand that you are not there right now, but you have to do something to get there. And that's how goals are achieved. But the minute you say to yourself, oh, I am not there, I have to come to a place, I'm not there yet. The minute you say to yourself, I'm not there yet, I have to reach some place. This is my spiritual goal. This is my professional goal. This is my family goal. Whatever it might be, I have to educate my children to become this, and that. And I have to be, I have to be totally rid of all my attachments. And that is my spiritual goal. The minute you set goals for yourself, you are already moving in a frequency of lack, the frequency that what I am right now is not enough. What I am needs to be strengthened, needs to be furthered, and that comes with needs. The minute there is need, the frequency is of lack. And so, even to sit in this, that I have to reach the goal of Nirvana. And if from that place you are trying to empty yourself and to look at your emotions saying, no, 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 it cannot be, I cannot have this emotion because I'm trying to be in the moksha state. The minute you say that, can you see that you are afraid of so many emotions? And so, not to be afraid. And the only way that we reach that place of blankness is by acceptance of every emotion, acceptance of every emotion as, it's just an emotion. It's just a frequency. I do not need to be afraid of any emotion because this can be changed. Whatever the frequency is right now, it's in my hands to change it. And every moment is the moment of now. When we look at the future never exists except for what we are creating. Every moment to moment, there is no one single point called destiny because we change our frequencies every moment, and every frequency has a point of destiny associated with it. So today, if somebody tells you, oh, I've looked at your hand and this is your destiny is to be, sad for the next 7 years because something is going to play out for 7 years for you. But it's in your hands to not be sad about whatever is playing outside. And then whether it is 7 years or 2 years or 2 minutes, it doesn't matter because in this moment, you can change your frequency to joyfulness. And from that space, as we keep moving, when you come more and more into blankness, that blankness is not achieved by running after that blankness. As a matter of fact, that blankness is achieved by looking at all the emotions that we have and being able to see them for what they are, just an emotion. This is just an emotion, and this is just an emotion, and this is just an illusion. The whole thing around is just an illusion. Between the two of these, you will be able to walk out from that entire story. Walk out from the story and be at peace. Just simply be at peace with the way things are as they are. The need to change things on the outside is a creation over here which makes us go round and round and round. But when we are sitting in blankness, when we know, and so the easiest path to this knowing of moksha is to simply keep yourself empty. And to keep yourself empty, you're like, yeah, she says, keep yourself empty. No, I just don't say it. I also give you many, many different tools as to how to keep yourself empty. Whenever you look at an emotion, it's just an emotion, release it. It's in your hands to release it. And when you're able to release so many emotions, say, it's just an emotion. And then no longer will that emotion trigger you. No longer will that outside event bother you. And in that space, in that moment, you are already in the moksha sthiti. You are in moksha state. There is no point, there is no place in space and time that is called death. There is a conversion of matter into the energy form, and that happens all the time. But when it happens to us, we call it death. And then we grieve death and we are sad about it and all of that. But what is death? Death is simply that from one place of energy to another, just simply shifting form, shifting matter to the energy state. And so there is really no point called death when you begin to understand life and when you begin to understand yourselves as energy. Till the time I'm going to look at the body, yes, death will definitely happen. But the minute I can understand that I am not this body, I am energy, then everything that is supposed to happen to us after we die, once you die, you will be in moksha state. That is true because energy by itself is not capable of thinking. Energy just is. And that energy holds information, but to experience it, we need the body form. The energy of, anger is just energy. It's just a frequency. Anger itself is not angry. It is you as the experiencer that experiences the anger and makes it move from one frequency to another layer frequency, to a higher scale, to a higher scale. You are the one that is actually moving the frequencies. You are the one who is doing the work of moving the frequencies to a higher state. I think I see a couple of chats, so let me just take a look at that. Okay, thank you, Amita, for your compliment to me. And then, Suma, not to fear emotion, since in that moment we have changed the energy. Though we sat in an emotion for 2 days, but the moment we changed our energy, everything changes. Absolutely. For 2 days, you experienced an emotion. And to understand, when I say you sit in blankness, blankness is a creation that we do for ourselves on earth. On earth, is it possible that we just simply spend all our times in blankness? No, that's not the purpose of earth. We over here are done with earth experiences, and now we over here are starting to experience some other stuff. We're just starting to experience some other stuff which doesn't belong to earth frequencies. The earth frequencies are all about separation. The earth frequencies are all about everything that is happening, and this is me and this is mine and this is you and that is yours, and that is the earth frequencies. But in the middle of all of that, as our awareness grows, now we know we can put it to any different places and experience something totally different. So even if we experience something, let us say we experience insecurities, fears for 2 days, and that's perfectly fine. That is in the moment we are experiencing fears. But the minute we move to the frequency of joy, or we move to the frequency of love, in that moment, we're experiencing love. In that moment, we're experiencing joy. And then we can come back to play in this frequency and go back over there. But the more we begin to understand, it's just a frequency. When we don't understand it's just a frequency, the mind races towards action. What should I do? What will I do? What has to be done? Who will do it if I don't? And the mind runs towards action. But when you begin to understand that the entire play is simply of energies, then this is the only one place you run to. Which one? Within. You run within to check what frequency of mind is creating. What is this creation that is happening through me in the now? And the answer might be anything. But the minute you become aware that this is my creation, now you can shift that answer. When you don't become aware that this is my creation, a finger points outside, 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 and sometimes even on the self. But this finger is all about blame. This finger will point there for blaming them, for blaming them, for blaming them for whatever is happening. But that's not where the answer lies. The answer doesn't lie. Many people will come to me and will vent, and I stop them right there. Like, you want to vent? You have a many a friend circle, and you can go and complain over there. Either you are looking for increasing your complaint frequency, or you are looking to shift your life. If you're looking to shift your life, then you will begin to look at your energy. Then you will begin to feel the power that you are. And in every place that's happening around you, every event that's happening around you is your energy simply manifesting. Again, even in this, many people come to me to manifest something or another. And the only place that I'm pointing them to is the frequency that you are sitting in when you wish for a manifestation. Your wishes, your desires, your goals, your ambitions are all about who you are not. The minute you sit in a place where I'm not this, I'm not that, I need to do this, I need to be that, the minute you sit in that place, the frequency you are playing in is lack. And the frequency where I have come to simply be a witness and things will happen through me. And things continue to happen through you. But without you engaging your mind, without you even engaging your worries and your fears and your planning and your strategy. Oh God, help me. I used to be from that space. I used to be constantly churning in the mind because working in a corporate setting, and of course not knowing this energy work, everything was my responsibility. Everything was absolutely my responsibility. And moving from that place, understanding that everything that happened through me, I thought I did it. But no, it was meant to happen in that way. However, as I was doing it, I was creating so much doership around it that the doership brought me hurt. The doership brought me many other emotions. Oh, I did so much for them, and they are not even, repaying this back for me, or they're not even saying a little tiny thank you. And it brought many different emotions in that space. However, everything that was happening through me was already happening, whether I created those extra emotions or not. If something is to happen for you through me, it will happen. What story will I make out of it? What will I create for myself through those stories? That's where the eyes now go to see what energy of mine am I engaging as this outside event is happening. On the outside, I might give something very big to somebody. But earlier, when I would do something like that, oh, I've given this big thing to them. Now their life should be happy. It's my assumption that their life would be happy because of whatever I have given to them. Or now that they've received something from me, they should be thankful to me. And that is where, again, my assumption would be. And that's the drama that gets created. And that's where you are no longer blank. But when my focus is now towards blankness, then everything that is stopping me from being in that blank state, I look at. Everything, every emotion, every person, every event. If something is stopping me from being blank, and how do I catch it? It's just a fun game for me now. And I think I've talked about it even a few times earlier. If I get a thought right now, I simply look at the thought and I let it go. I look at the thought and I let it go. Acha thought I. Even if it's this thought of who will do this, what will happen, it's a thought and it's coming from this space. I recognize and I let it go. If the same thought repeats itself 2 or 3 times, now I know that I have to go deeper within because it is pointing me towards some place where another layer has come to be peeled off. So, last week's webinar, right here, right now, because everything is an opportunity. Every event outside is not. It hasn't come to trouble you. Every event on the outside has simply come to show to you that, okay, this is your energy that you are holding. These are your frequencies that you're experiencing through this event. And maybe you can release them and go into a little bit more of blankness. So every outside event simply becomes an opportunity for us to go and sit in the moksha state. The more we empty ourselves, the bigger this timeline becomes for which we can experience this thoughtlessness, this emotionlessness. Somebody asked me, if we become this emotionless, then won't life be so boring? Won't life be such a, you know, such a boring thing that, oh, I'm not feeling any emotion. I'm okay with everything. And I'm just walking through life like a zombie, not feeling any emotion. And the fun part is it becomes a game. It is actually not that you're not experiencing any emotion, but when you're experiencing, it is as if you go to a movie. As you go to a movie and you're watching the movie, you're always aware of this one fact that this is just a movie. And yet you experience when those people are cracking jokes and, the movie is funny, you're laughing your guts out. And when something funny is happening to a Mr. Bean on the screen, you're laughing your guts out. You're experiencing the funniness of it, the joy of it, and you're laughing at whatever is happening. And yet you know that it's a movie. So when you walk out of there, most of the times you're like, oh, that was a good movie. It's a great movie. Maybe I can see it again. And that's all there is to it. And so we will enjoy everything, but knowing that we are running through a movie. And the movie, and the more beautiful part over here is that my movie is a script that I can change any moment. So a script that is changeable, there we go. Even release the fear of manifestation. It is just in that moment. Whether you release the fear of manifestation, or you release the fear of death, or you release the fear of, I don't know, light, or you release the fear of dark, understand that it's not about the dark or the manifestation or the light. It's about being in the fear frequency. And that is in the moment that you are tuned into a fear frequency. In the moment, then the fearful thoughts will come. And as you release the fear frequency, you can go back to being in blankness. You can go back to a thoughtless state when you have released that fear. And then when you go back to it again and you jump into it again and again, it just simply means another layer has opened up for you. Use it as an opportunity to release what is coming up again and again. Because as I just mentioned, that when a thought comes to me 2 or 3 times, I know that even though I've let it flow, even though I've released it, but just the very fact that it's coming, I call it as a repeat pattern. And the repeat pattern is not that everything has to happen. A thought is repeating itself. That itself is a repeat pattern. So if a thought is repeating itself, it means it's showing me that somewhere the entire processing has not been done. The entire processing meaning to understand it's just a frequency. That's where. Otherwise, everything becomes a consequence. Oh, this is the action, and if this not is done and this is not done, then this is the consequence that I have to suffer in my life. And then all the kinds of suffering comes. But when we look at the moksha state, there is no suffering. But why is there no suffering? Because there is nothing called suffering. Everything, even your worst suffering, is bringing you to a state of, can you look at what all you are creating and can you release it, please? And that's the moment the suffering changes its nature. It's your frequency that's creating this life of yours. You call it suffering, then at least take a look at what all you are holding that's creating this so-called outer suffering for you. And the minute we are able to look into it, that becomes the moment of the new energy. But the minute we are able to look into it, put the finger here. Okay. Even the release of fear, even release the fear of manifestation. It is just that in the moment. Manifestation, the word itself is filled with lack. And why do so many people talk about manifestations and doing the manifestations? Because everything is resonating with your frequency. So if you are sitting in the frequency of lack, many different people will come and even suggest manifestations to you. And then when those manifestations happen, even if those manifestations happen, now what do? Now you start to use it towards, oh, okay, this got created. Let me use it to create these 5 other things as well. The lack doesn't go away. It just simply takes you to a longer path on that way. And we are here to talk about the easiest path to no emotion. That means we just simply release the lack itself. We release the lack itself. We release the fear itself. And then no running after anything. Oh, yeah, I want to release the fear of manifestation, and then the manifestation will be different. Yes, it will be different, but it's a byproduct. The minute you put your finger on that, okay, I want to manifest, so Meenal says, if you release the lack, then the product changes and you will get something. So maybe if I release the lack, then I will get what I want. Well, right there and then, in a very convoluted way, you tuned into the lack frequency again. And so simply release the lack, empty the space is all that we talk about. And this space is moksha. And what is the nature of moksha? When there is no emotion, when there is it boring? No, as a matter of fact, it is the state of this beautiful flow, this beautiful bliss, that bliss that exists, that doesn't get removed from outside events happening. You come back to the center of experiencing that bliss. And bliss is not happiness and then coming down and happiness. It's not these peaks and lows and peaks and lows. Those we call as joy and sadness, joy and sadness. How is bliss different? Because bliss is just in the flow. That even flow where you know that all is right in my world. No matter what is happening, whatever is happening, whatever is manifesting, this is the way it is meant to be, and all is right with the world. Then what do? You simply smile. That's all. You continue to feel your emotions, but within there is that constant smile that exists because you figured out the game. You figured out the game. And when you figure out the game, the moksha is here. The heaven is here. The hell is here. For sure, the moksha is right here because we are not this body. We are energy. There is no death. We are energy. We are the immortal. And since there is no death, there is nothing to achieve after death. Where is the moksha after death? The moksha after death is just, all the energy is just simply flowing. So yes, in that sense. But to say that you have to die to experience the moksha, no, you can experience it right here, right now. And there we are. Any questions for me at this point in time? Somebody writes. All right. Oh, yeah, this I see it. We are told that nirvana is the ultimate because after that there is no rebirth, as the definition says. But as I understand today, freedom from cycle of birth and death means knowing, being in the knowing that there is nothing called death. It is not literally an end to taking forms because energies will always play out in some way. So moksha is a knowing of energy, that it is energy, that is it, hitting the nail on its head. We are energy, and that is it. Will I come back to earth in this form? And many people have actually looked at my, horoscope and said that you will attain moksha. Or your horoscope says you will attain moksha. And so after death, you are not coming back in that sense. And I used to sit in this fear, oh my God, I don't want to come back to this earth. I hope this is my last life. I never want to experience this. This used to be the unaware me, and I used to sit in this place. And today, when I look at that thought itself, that the thought that this is going to be your last life is a running away thought that, oh, then you can run away from earth. You are not going to be on earth. You're not going to experience the earth's, dualities and all of that. And you won't. You won't, because already that duality you have finished. You've already finished. That duality is not going to be experienced by your energy because your energy is done with the little playing around of whatever it had to do on earth. Your little tiny piece of energy is not going to come back to earth. Great. But with this also comes the knowing that everyone is simply you. So you will continue to exist in the energy form everywhere, anywhere. Today, if I leave my body, is it that my energy is going to go away? No, my energy is going to stay and it will be on earth, whether it takes the body form or not. Whether it chooses to experience something more through the body form or not, but my energy is going nowhere. So it is the ultimate form, where you already in this body have already realized. And as you beautifully hit the nail on its head, so I will just read it out once again, that the energy will always play out in some way. So moksha is the knowing of energy, that it is energy. And then there is no running away. There is no running away from taking form wherever, whether here or in another part of the galaxy. We are already in so many different forms. We don't know it, but we are every alien there is. It's just different life forms in different energy places, wherever the life forms are existing, sometimes as body and sometimes not even as body. And we don't understand all of that universe. And so we think, oh, Earth is the only place where life exists. But I got an answer to this in one of my guidances in my dreams, and it was that you already exist in so many different places. A part of your energy, and it is a multi-universe and not a universe. So it's a multiverse and not a universe, and you already exist in so many places. If you already exist in so many places, and now that I understand I am everyone I see around me is me only. There is no other. It is me. If my eyes go to any form, I will understand that my eyes went over there, and the external eyes will show me the separation. But the minute I look at it from within, there is no separation. There is oneness. There is no other. There is me only. Do I have to be in oneness with everyone that I meet? No, I have to be in oneness only with myself, because everyone else, wherever my eyes go out, everyone else is simply a reflection of mine. And there is nobody out in my universe except for me in all directions, everywhere. What are the different me's showing me? On every single day, an event outside will happen, and therein starts this process of coming back to the nirvana state. Okay, everyone, let's see any other questions. Anybody else wants to have a comment? Nope, I think. And nirvana is really the ultimate, because that's when the game has opened up. All of this while you were believing in some reality, and that reality belongs to you. And then the nirvana is the ultimate, because the illusion has opened up for you, and you can see everything as the illusion. It is an illusion, and then everything becomes a game. Have you ever played video games? Yep. That's all that there is to this video game as well. And in video games, you have goals, and you have, places to go and things to do. And all the while you understand it's just a video game. But when in a video game, a life dies, and you're like, I'm dead. Oh God, why did this happen? That happened. So a video game is so capable of creating so many different emotions in you. But even through that, you are constantly aware of the illusion that is. You are aware of the Maya that is in that game. And that's exactly why the Nirvana state is so beautiful, because you understand this video game. Yes? Okay. All right, everyone. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And I want you first today to be evaluating your own energy field. What does that mean? Take a look at all the emotions that come to mind when you think of your energy field. What all emotions have you been playing in lately? Take a look at all those emotions and make a note of it. Make a note of it, that these are the emotions that are playing up in my energy field right now. Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it desperation? Is it sadness? Is it joy? Is it love? Is it masti? What emotions are playing for you mostly in your energy field these days? Take a deep breath in and put your mind to these emotions for just a minute. And now to understand, in your hand lies a remote, and you are simply moving between channels, whether it is joy, whether it is anger, whether it is love, whether it is sadness. All of these are simply some frequencies that you are playing in today. Your frequencies that you have been playing in, the frequencies that you are playing in, they'll come to mind. And yet, simply understanding that all of these are nothing but a switch on your remote. Nothing but a tiny little button on your remote. And you experience so many of the experiences when your hand goes on the remote, switching from one frequency to another. And in this moment, as if you are tired now of flicking through the remote, watching those channels, watching those emotions, simply you switch the television off. You're switching it off. A deep sigh, a deep breath as you switch the television off. On your television, just a dark blank screen. On your television, just a dark blank screen. No emotions, no frequencies, no channels, nothing. Just a dark blank screen. Recognize that you are the television on which all of these channels play, and you are the remote that holds all of these channels controls. And then, of course, you are the one with the remote. You are the television, you are the remote, and you are the one with the remote. You have all the power, sometimes to be an experiencer, and sometimes to be the one who changes the experience. You are all of that. So take a deep breath in and experience the power that you are. Experience the power that you are. You are the energy and you are the body. The body, the television, the energy, the one that is holding the remote. And as you become aware in this moment of the blank screen of television, understand that is your true nature. Your true nature. Where does the television rest? At this place, the blank screen. This is your true nature. Your true nature is not to be constantly playing and playing with channels, with frequencies, with your emotions. Your true nature is the state of the blank screen. This is you. Even as an experiencer, there is no creation happening right now. There is no button that you are pressing. You've simply rested The creator is resting, and so is the television in this blank space. What is it that the blank space feels? Nothing. What is it that the blank place has to be? That blank space already is. It's to go nowhere, move no channels, simply be in that blank space. So focus right now on your television, your own blank screen. Put all your focus, put all your focus on that blank screen. Feel the blankness, feel the silence. No thoughts, nowhere to go, nowhere to be. My voice also in the background. No knowledge needed. All the knowing already exists. And in this moment, just being blank, the blank screen, your true nature is of this blankness. Your true nature of moksha, this blankness, bliss, this blankness. No tiredness of any emotion, not even joy, not anger, just simply being as is. There's a universe outside that television, and whatever that universe is playing out, the blank screen remains blank. You are this blank screen in this moment. Enjoy this blankness. This is moksha. This, simply put, is the Nirvana state. And can you see how simple it is to switch off and be in this? To release all that is not this blankness, to be able to understand, become aware, be knowing of all the emotions that are still playing on the screen, and be able to switch off and come to this true state of blankness, to this true state of bliss. So simple, so easy. So simple, so easy when you are aware that you are energy. You are the energy, the all-encompassing energy. And from that place, you have the choices to move to any state or to stay in this place. And as life moves you around to different emotions, experience them for a few moments and then switch off and come to your natural resting space. And this is all that moksha is all about. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Where to go? What to do? The ultimate goal. All of these understandings, when we come to the energy space of the ultimate goal, the word ultimate sheds and the word goal totally sheds. Because you understand that till the time there is a goal, till the time there is moving towards that goal, wanting to reach that goal, the goalpost will keep moving. The frequency of lack will keep you moving round and round. That is the channel that's playing on your television. So, if the frequency of lack is also playing on your television and you want to reach some place in your spiritual life, I have another webinar that says there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do, but there's only this one place called life, and life is to be lived as is. So, living life as is, enjoying every moment, neither judging this nor judging that, nor wanting to be here, not wanting to be anywhere else, simply being wherever life takes you. All right, everybody, lots and lots of love.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Love you, Meema.
बहुत
Lots of
खूबसूरत
love.
बहुत खूबसूरत
Thank you.
So beautiful.
Bye.
So amazing. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Lots and lots of love to all of you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Meema, you look so beautiful.
Thank you. Lots of love. Today, Mani said no wearing a sari. So here we are in our
You're
beach.
looking so pretty with those tiny ones, Meema. Love